Okay. I can't make it no better, and I don't want to get off my bed. So, anyways, fast forwarded it. Anyways, we were married for 6 years before I finally got our first pregnancy, the positive pregnancy test. You talk about testing. I tested all the time. Even if I didn't have a period, I would test. I was test obsessed. So, finally got that positive test. My husband's uncle passed. We found out we were pregnant, and we were just elated. Because, I mean, I never even had the slightest faint line ever. So, fast forward into January of 2007, or 6, I'm sorry, 2006. So we got our positive pregnancy test in 2005, December, the 1st of December. I went in for my 7-week check, the first appointment, and they didn't find nothing. My levels were rising, but not as good, and I had the sac, but there was no baby they couldn't find, and so I had all the symptoms and signs of an ectopic pregnancy, so they became very concerned. So I immediately got put on bed rest that day. I actually stayed in town with my mom and my dad because they was really close to the hospital if something was to happen, because they wanted me to come back in the next day and have another ultrasound and blood work done. And so I did that. Still, numbers were going up, but they weren't going up very much. But they were going up that they thought that there was a pregnancy somewhere within my body. So they waited 48 hours. So I stayed with my mom and dad. Y'all, I was terrified. So they ended up having to do, they called it exploratory surgery, which they were going to go ahead and do a DNC on me because they believed the pregnancy was in my tubes. So they wanted to look at my tubes. So they done a DNC to get the sac and everything out. And they ended up taking one of my fallopian tubes. So when I woke up, not only had it taken so many years for us to finally get that positive pregnancy test, when I woke up, I found that I had lost a fallopian tube. So I had all this going against me. PCOS. Of course, the stress, that's all I wanted. You know, that's all I thought about. And then I lost the tube. So my chances were even cut down slimmer. So I want this video to give y'all hope, because I have 2 beautiful, healthy baby girls now. One is 12 and one is 8. And I was told by the doctor, not the day that I woke up from surgery. We came home that night. I felt defeated. Felt like we would never have children of our own. So my husband, we went and found a lady and bought a little Yorkie, and she was my baby. Her name was Keisha. She was my baby. So I spoiled her rotten. And she has passed since, and I miss her so much. We also had labs, and I miss them. But 2006 is when I lost the pregnancy and my fallopian tube. So I felt defeated. When I went for that 6-week checkup after having that surgery, the doctor told me that my chances, sorry I keep looking off, he told me that my chances to ever have a child was cut even farther, which I already knew that, but he really didn't ever believe that I would ever have a biological child. And we had already kind of started talking about adoption. So I really felt just defeated. I went to him. We've done more cycles of Clomid. And in 2006, I was on every baby site you can imagine. Every baby site. And I found a site that said there was a cancer drug that these women were getting pregnant on that had PCOS. And the drug was called Femera. And it was very expensive. But I'll get to that in a minute. So anyways, the doctor I was going to would not give me this drug because he felt like it was to help treat certain cancer. I don't remember exactly now what kind but he just didn't feel like, he told me he would not give me the prescription. Well, I was so determined that I would have a child of my own. And I knew in God's time that we would. But being young and I just felt so defeated. That's all. I mean, I talked about that all the time. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't ever feel like there's something that's something wrong for wanting a baby. Don't ever let anyone make you feel like you're crazy, because you're not. You just know what you want. But that doctor refused to give me this drug. So I found a lady doctor that did not have a problem with giving me this drug. And I went to her, and first day I seen her, she didn't have no problem. She didn't know any of my past or nothing. I mean, I explained to her what had happened, and she knew I had PCOS really bad, and that I had lost the tube, but she thought Femera would, I've tried Clomid with no success, so, she was going to give me 3 months worth of the Femera to give it a shot. Well, y'all, that month, my first month, I took Femera. We got pregnant with Abigail. I am not a doctor. Do not even want to play one on YouTube. So the reason I want to make this video is to let you know there is hope. Don't give up. But at the time, and this would have been the end of this would have been the very end of 2006. The company was doing a coupon, so I actually got it for free. And Walmart accepted the coupon because I just printed it out online. It was like a $300 drug back then. But I only had to take it 1 month. They gave me enough for 3 months. So I think I ended up getting like 30 pills because I had to take, I don't remember the exact dose. And I know that's bad, but after you have kids and stuff and you just get older, I can't remember all the details. But anyways, that helped me ovulate. I was a very late ovulator when I was on Clomid. That helped me ovulate. I also did progesterone. I went to a natural food store here, Nature's Wonder, if you're in Harrison area. They're opening one also in Branson, but this lady was very knowledgeable. And she spent 2 hours with me in the store, and we researched, and she believed a lot of my problem was low progesterone. The doctor never tested, they didn't test for that. My doctor particularly didn't. And so I did progesterone cream. You could buy it at Walmart. I think Walmart had it. It was like menopausal cream, I think. But I got it here, and it was expensive. But I would do it as soon as I would get a positive ovulate. The instructions will be online. I do not remember exactly the days I did it, but I always did it after I ovulated. And I would do it all the way up until I started my period. And then, of course, you would stop, or I stopped. But, so we had done that for several months. But whenever I finally got pregnant, I continued on the progesterone because I was low in progesterone. And they tested me. And I had to be put on. So, ladies out there with PCOS, another thing to look into is progesterone to even help sustain a pregnancy. I am not a doctor, so this is something you need to talk to your doctors about. Sorry, I've got dry ears. But the only way that I was able to sustain the pregnancy was I had to have a compound made at a pharmacy in Marshall, Arkansas, and it was progesterone suppositories, and they were vaginal suppositories. And I had to do that the first 16 weeks of my pregnancy. And now we have a beautiful 12-year-old. I believe that saved her, that pregnancy. I believe it saved her. Just because of the way, how messed up my hormones were. As much as I had read about progesterone and all about just having babies in general, I thought, the doctors would have kind of caught that, but they didn't. So just be very mindful and ask your doctor questions. I'm not saying this would be what it worked for me. It may not work for you. It's worked for other women. Like I say, I'm not a doctor. That's my disclaimer. I don't even play one. But that helped. And that is why, the reason she's here is because God wants her to be here. But, that helped me get pregnant, and I kept that pregnancy the first 16 weeks with progesterone. And you talk about nerves being racked. When I had to go off those suppositories, in my head after losing one, I was a nervous wreck. And the nurses that helped me through that pregnancy knows I called them every single day. If I coughed too hard, I called. Did I hurt her? Did I hurt the baby? Did I hurt the baby? If I coughed too hard, I sneezed too hard. Anything. None of it's too crazy, because if it happens, I called. But, so we went, and I had a really uneventful pregnancy with Abigail. I had I was nauseous at first, but it was an amazing experience. I was a nervous wreck. I called the doctor literally almost every single day. And I know they got tired of hearing from me, but, once you lose a baby and you've wanted this for so long, you can't relax. But anyway, she is in this world healthy. And then we decided, after I had Abigail, we got the Mirena put in. And then, it wasn't even 3 months after I had that put in. We decided, well, it took us so long to have her that we'll just go ahead and start trying to have another one. And it took us 3.5 years to finally get pregnant. And then we finally had Lily. And once again, my hormones did not straighten up after I had Abigail. They kind of thought they would. But once again, the doctor, he said that since it was over 2 years after we had Abigail, because he always told us we was most fertile after you have a child, and it was no success. So he told me once again that it was very highly unlikely that we would have another one. And it wasn't 6 months after he said that. I did not take Femera with the second one. I had to always be put on can't even think now. Provera, I had to be put on Provera a lot to even start my period. So I did take that. I tried some more Clomid to have the second one, but that didn't help. I actually just got pregnant. I Googled everything. We used pre-seed. It was a fertility, like a natural lubricant. I believe that helped a lot. Because women that has PCOS, vaginal dryness, that's a real thing. So we used that whenever I got a positive on the OPKs. So the point of this video is, don't give up. Don't let a doctor tell you that it's not going to happen. After it happened, the doctor, and I loved our doctor. I mean, he was amazing with delivery and during the pregnancy, but beforehand it was kind of a brush off. But don't let them discourage you on what your dream is. And if it doesn't happen, it's okay. Cry about it. I cried many, many times. I still cry. But don't let it defeat you. You got this. God will help you. But yeah, just don't give up. So, it is very possible to have children if you suffer from PCOS. I have had a hysterectomy now. I had it a little over a year ago. And I still suffer from symptoms of PCOS. I still have one of my ovaries. I still have hormone issues. I'm just one big walking hormone basket case. And that's okay. It took me many years to overcome that's okay. So, anyways, the purpose of this video is just to give you motivation. If you have PCOS or going through trying to have a baby, don't give up. I know this is kind of a long video. This is like my first vlog style, so forgive me. I'm not the type that's gonna put on a face just because I'm trying to be likable or something. This is just who I am, and I love to have fun, but on serious things too. I don't want y'all to give up. It's very possible to have that baby that you want if you suffer from infertility. PCOS, don't let it defeat you. Because I believe that you will have that baby. So, I am sorry that it took so long for me to record this. But I am going to throw y'all all that baby dust out there. And believe that if you are trying to have that baby, it will happen. So, lots of baby dust, lots of baby dreams. And, yeah. Don't forget to ask your doctors about progesterone cream. I mean, that's something you can get over the counter. I'm not a doctor, so, but progesterone cream, I think all the doctors I went to, it's something they never mentioned to me. I had to research it and find it myself. So please ask your doctor about it if you are trying to have your sweet baby, and something just that simple. I rubbed it the cream, you just rub it anywhere on your body. I always rubbed it on my belly, my boobs, inner thighs, arms. You know, every day I pick somewhere different. So, but yeah, you can get it online and everywhere now. But anyways, lots of baby dust. Sending you guys positive vibes. So I just wanted to get on here and let you know that our two blessings, it took us a long time to get them here, and we are so grateful to have them, and you can have that too, so don't give up. So that's my little story time for today. So bye, y'all. And good luck and lots of baby dust.